This is the first in a series of 4 videos that follow in the footsteps of George Taylor. It tells the story of Taylor's arrival and early years in Pennsylvania. George Taylor's early life is relatively unknown, but it is generally agreed that he was born in 1716 and emigrated to colonial America from Ireland in 1736 as an indentured servant. Taylor might have been on a ship like this. The voyage could have taken from 6 to 10 weeks, depending on the weather. Taylor's passage was paid by Samuel Savage, Jr., an ironmaster at Coventry Forge near Philadelphia. Taylor began his employment by shoveling coal, but it was soon discovered that he had some education. By 1739, he was promoted to clerk in the counting room of the business. Eventually, he worked at Savage's second location, Warwick Furnace. The remains of this furnace can be seen today. In the mid-1750s, Taylor and his wife, Anne, moved to Durham, a well-established iron plantation 50 miles north of Philadelphia, near the Delaware River. The center of activity on the plantation was a charcoal-fired iron furnace built in 1727. Today, a 19th century mill stands on the foundation of the original furnace, although part of the original can be seen. Mr. Taylor leased the furnace in partnership with another experienced ironmaster, Samuel Flower. Taylor moved into the manor house near the furnace and commenced to run the operation. Although it is known that he supplied cannon shot to the provincial government, presumably for the French and Indian Wars, most of the output of the furnace was hollowware, or cast iron cookware, pots, pans, skillets, etc. In addition, stove plates, firebacks, and bar iron were also produced at Durham. Some of these items were used as trade goods with the Moravian settlement in nearby Bethlehem. Proximity to the Delaware River made Philadelphia an obvious market for these products, and Durham boats, which were built nearby, provided the necessary transportation. Designed by Robert Durham in the 1740s, the boats, with a shallow draft of only 18 inches, were 40 to 60 feet long, and the largest could hold up to 20 tons of iron or finished goods. A trip to Philadelphia would take a day, while the return trip, bringing back items needed at Durham, might take 3 to 4 times that, even with a lighter load. Crewed by a captain and 4 to 6 oarsmen, the boats would float downstream with the current, but had to be poled upstream. When Taylor's lease on the furnace ran out in 1761, he began to dissolve his partnership with Samuel Flower. About the same time, Taylor bought the Bachman Public House in Easton and moved on to new challenges. Through a sheriff's sale on December 23, 1761, George Taylor purchased the structure known today as the 1753 Bachman Public House. A public house would have been an extremely busy place, serving locals and visitors as a gathering spot for respite, dining, refreshment, conversation, as well as a location for meetings. At the Bachman, visitors would hear many languages spoken, including Lenape, German, English, and French, as they entered. When George Taylor purchased the structure, he added rooms to create more spaces for dining and overnight rentals. The hearth room was used for cooking and dining. Note the image of King George III on the wall. It is hanging upside down in protest to his rule. A room on the second floor of the structure served as one of Northampton County's first courtrooms. George Taylor owned the building until 1779, a year before his death. The George Taylor House in Catasauqua, Pennsylvania, is distinctive among George Taylor's properties. It is the only one he commissioned and built. He bought 331 acres along the Lehigh River. Constructed in 1767, this elegant Georgian mansion was intended as a residence for his beloved wife, Anne. Tragically, she passed away shortly after the completion of the house, adding a sad note to its history. Despite this sorrowful turn, the George Taylor House stands today as a testament to his success and stature in colonial society. The construction of the house was entrusted to the skilled artisans of the Carpenters Company in Philadelphia. renowned for their expertise in architectural craftsmanship during the colonial era. The house reflects the Georgian architectural style popular in the mid-18th century, characterized by its symmetry and balanced proportions. The main room was built for entertainment and to welcome the Taylors' guests, as it was designed to be their first impression. The large windows conveyed a sense of elegance. Among the home's treasures are two firebacks bearing the initials GT 1768 that were forged at his Durham furnace. Upstairs, the 4 bedrooms speak to Taylor's intention to create a comfortable family home. The room at the top of the stairs was designed to be used for storage and changing clothing. Connected to the house is the winter kitchen. Recently, a lower level was discovered with stairs leading to the basement, which is believed to have been a single-room cabin built prior to Taylor's purchase of the property. In a separate building nearby is a coal cellar, which is original to the 1700s. This property was owned by George and Ann Taylor from 1767 until 1776. The house was placed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1971. The site is owned by the Borough of Catasauqua and maintained by dedicated volunteers of the George Taylor House Association, who ensure its preservation for future generations.